Welcome back to another vid. Today we're gonna be doing something a little interesting. But today, you'll probably already know by the title, we're gonna be explaining the entire Iceburg plus all the lore from Backrooms the Unseen Dusk currently that's there. Yeah, make sure to subscribe before we get into the lore, and yeah, just sit back and relax. We can show you some footage, but from the game, but I warn you, there are spoilers ahead, so yeah, just recognize that, and yeah. Anyways, let's get right into it. The first subject, and hope you all enjoyed it. So this is level 0, and this is an actual image. I'll credit the person who did the vid and gameplay that is in this vid. But basically, you know level 0, it's a classic, yellow, it's all yellow, yellow maze, yellow lights. There's not much of a backstory though. So that makes the lore kind of hard. There's only one entity here, and you just gotta listen to hints to escape. Anyways, that's pretty much all. There's no secret lore or anything. Just love it. Anyways, let's go to the next topic. Now, this is an image of level 1, another in-game photo, and it's like a giant parking garage. You can find a bunch of cars, tires, machinery, and AC units and breaker boxes everywhere. But it tells you how to escape in hints, which is coming soon. I'm not gonna spoil anything. But there's entity here that's up for removal. But yeah, we're gonna delete that entity that lives here and replace it with something else. But yeah, basically that's not all to level 1. So basically, there's not much lore, but it's like one of the first levels to have a puzzle, and I'd say it's pretty fun. You gotta crawl through a vent at first, and yeah, and that's pretty much it. The entity here is the child faceling, which is up for removal. If you get unalived by her, you'll respawn outside. But we'll get into the faceling later. But level 1, the door is in the corner. But of one of the rooms. I'm not gonna spoil the puzzle, but that's all for level 1. Now let's head back into subject 2, and yeah. So this is a picture of level 2, aka Pipe Dreams, which are long segmented hallways with shining lights above, and yeah, basically the door is pretty easy to find. There's not really a puzzle, no lore about it here. The level though might get a revamp in the future. So keep that in mind. And yeah, basically it's like you walk down to the end of once you travel. It's like segmented in squares. So yeah, it's pretty easy to escape. That's really all I gotta say. No backstory, but you spawn in the middle of all the segmented. Although there is one way you can go. When you spawn in and you look to the left, you will see a bunch of like one of the halls is filled with pipes, but it's a trap because the clump there can get. So yeah, just don't go that way, and yeah, that's all. But let's go on to subject 3, level 3. So welcome to level 3, the electrical station. Now, you probably don't know, there's not very much context behind this image, but there's actually a lot of lore to it that you should keep in mind for future updates and more levels. But this skeleton, as you can see, is not just an ordinary skeleton, it's a past wanderer. And we'll find out who that is in the future and the lore of him. We'll get deeper and deeper. As you maybe can see, if you look closely, he's holding a key, and this key actually relates to a secret entity that will appear in another level, who keeps keys and stuff. And yeah. Basically, though, this level's a little bugged, but there are flashlights. Basically, you just gotta avoid the hound. And yeah, basically, though, if you just gotta walk around the hallway, and yeah, you gotta find a breaker box, and yeah, I'll just leave all the puzzles and hints, and then it can tell you, but I won't go to hints because it spoils the game. Anyways, now let's move on to subject 4, level 4. Let's go! Okay, now we're going to. So this is level 4, the abandoned office, which is a dark, creepy office with only minimum lighting, and this level actually has 3 entities, and they're actually very dangerous. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, and basically, level 4, there's not much, but you gotta break open the door to the side when you start, and the text will appear on your screen saying run. And that's when the entity on this level will come after you at fast speeds, and most likely will end you. But you can actually avoid this by hiding in the room for a bit longer. And if you're a multiplayer, send someone out to distract them, and then you'll have a chance to escape. Also, once again, I'm not going to spoil how to escape or the puzzle. It's simple, just find a door, but I'm not telling you where it is because that's a spoiler. Anyways, let's go to the next subject, level 5. This is an image of level 5, or the Terror Hotel, and as you can see, it's a hotel with red painted walls and a bunch of tables with plants and decorations, etc. on it. There are 2 different ways you can go. There's a door on the left side of this hallway that will take you to where the entity lives. But this hallway is a safe zone because the entity can't get in there. But if you go to the right, there is another entity, but they're stationary and don't move. So that way's safer, but also doesn't lead to the exit. Feel free to check. Anyways, yeah, that's really all, and yeah, level 5. There's not much lore to it really, anything, but yeah. Anyways, bye. Now, I'm not gonna show this like the second part to level 5. I'm not gonna show an image because it's upcoming content. But yeah, basically the boiler room was released in the beta version. You could have saw it was just a small room with like AC units and boilers in it. No entities, but we're gonna revamp it, and yeah, it's gonna be better. But yeah, basically that's it in the boiler room. But we're gonna be revamping it. No lore really, but it's gonna be bigger. I think you'll like it. Anyways, next subject. Now, level 6 is one of the darker and scarier levels. There's two entities, the Watcher and a Insanity. And yeah, basically it's pitch black except for the flashlights, which can light it up a bit. The appearance of the level is basically a pitch black maze. Only you can only see walls with flashlights and etc. But basically there's not much lore, but it is one of the scarier levels, and if you're looking for a challenge, I'd go to level 6. But the entity is unique. You may be wondering why this entity is unique, but it's because it gives you about 5 seconds to head start, and after that, he'll disappear and start to come after you. But yeah, that's really all. And you just gotta find a door, but luckily it's lit up. Anyways, next subject. Welcome to level 7, aka Thalassophobia. Now, this level is you spawn on an island and there's completely submerged in water when you jump off this island, where you will be met with the thing on level 7. And yeah, this entity is being remodeled by a guy named Tensel. And yeah, basically, there's 2 exits to this level. There's 2 exits to this level for now. And basically, there's one that leads you to level fun, which we'll talk about later, and there's one that leads you to level 8. Once again, I'm not gonna spoil how to get there, but that's all. Anyways, next subject. Welcome to level 8, or the cave system, which is basically this massive tunnel at first, and there's a giant pit and that you'll find while walking down it. And once you jump down this pit, you'll be teleported to the second part of level 8, which looks like. Anyways, level 8 does have lore once again, but there is some mysterious text that was written by an unknown wanderer that says, captioned, "It's on the roof." And I'll get what's on the ceiling later. And basically, yeah, the exit in this one's kind of hard because it's invisible. But, that's pretty much all. Anyways, now we go to level 9. So, once again, sadly, I cannot show a picture for this level because it's being revamped. So yeah, but basically level 9, the beta version, we're keeping the map the same. We're just fixing some bugs. But it basically looks like they'll spawn in this like dark neighborhood. There's a giant road that just goes straight. You have to follow it, and there's like hundreds of houses lined aside the road, and you can actually hide in the house from the entity. There. So, yeah, basically, this level's just getting fixed. No lore, once again, and the exit is in one of the houses. Not gonna spoil. Anyways, let's move on to the next and, second to last subject. So, welcome to level 10, the bumper crop, which is a large, very massive field with, it's very dark out, with a bunch of houses everywhere, and basically it's supposed to resemble a farm or some type of field with tobacco sheds. And basically the entity here is a little tricky because he has like weeping angel type behavior. So yeah, the puzzle on this one is kind of tricky but fun. So yeah, I think you'll like it. And there's not much. There is actually quite some good lore packed up here, but basically, if you enter one of the houses, you'll have a very rare chance of getting a ending, which we'll get into later. But basically, this ending is gonna explain a lot in a future update. But yeah, anyways, that's all for level 10. Puzzles complex, entity is unique, and now we move on to the final subject, and I bet you guessed it, level fun. Here we go to level fun. Now, sorry to break your heart, but level fun, no one has taken any photos of level fun, but you can search it up on Google, and you can find images. It looks pretty much like that. It's got like that dark blue floor, yellow walls, and a bunch of tables with party hats everywhere. Basically, the puzzle's a little unique, just like the entity. Partygoers are kind of have weeping angel behavior, and yeah, you can even get another secret ending, which we'll get into later. Of Backrooms the Unseen Dusk. But that's really all. And now, time for a new topic. This is an image of a duller found on level 0. They are tall, pitch black, shadowy humanoids that wander the halls of level 0. And basically, once they find you, they emit a loud jump scare sound, and you respawn because they kill you. And basically, that's all they really do. They're not animated right now because we're in the beta phase, but we'll fix that. Plus, we'll revamp their models. Anyways, next subject. Then our next subject is the child facelings. Like I said, these guys are getting deleted, but it's hard to take an image. I know you can barely see because they're so fast and they're very small. But these entities are hostile and appear as a little girl in a white dress with elongated arms and limbs. She appears to have black hair and a normal peach-colored face and no typical facial features. And basically, once you're in detection of these guys, you're cooked, and they won't stop chasing. Anyways, next, let's go to subject 14. Guys, once again, we do not have a photo for this entity because no one's taken a picture. But clumps, basically, they live on level 2 and they appear and more levels. And they appear as like a giant clump and a ball of limbs. They have several different limbs extending from their central point, which is a small peach-colored looking ball. They don't have any facial features like a mouth, eyes, nose, or ears. And, yeah. Basically, they're very fast and make a very loud jump scare sound. That's all. Next subject. Now, once again, this is an image of a hound on, in the credits area, he doesn't do anything there. But in other levels, he does actually affect you. But basically, they appear as humanoid creatures, peach-colored skin, and they stand on all fours. They have show speed, looking hair, and yeah, basically, they don't have teeth. Their model looks like trash. That's why we're getting them redone. Anyways, that's all they do. Anyways, next subject. This is a photo of a skin stealer on level 4. Sticking its hand out the window. Yeah. Basically, skin stealers are tall humanoid creatures with pale yellowish skin. They appear to have one pitch black eye, a pitch black mouth, and one white glowing eye. Their body shape is very deformed, and it says, according to the wiki, they'll actually do this in game, sadly, but they will wear the skin of its victims as a disguise. Basically, they're very fast, and they they just actively hunt you and other players and are very dangerous. This is an image of a vending machine on level 4, and basically they don't do anything, really. Except when you approach them to try to grab one of the drinks or snack bars from in there. You will get poisoned and you will lose your life. And basically, you will respawn from where you started in level 4. Other than that, don't do anything. It's just a vending machine. But there's a dark secret behind it, which is I can't say on YouTube. So check about it in the game. This is an image of a window on one of the walls of level 4, and they just appear as windows, but inside these windows are dark figures that appear humanoid, and one of their hands is reaching out the window. And let me tell you, if you touch one of these windows, you will be teleported back to where you start on level 4. So and there are clusters of them on level 4, so avoid them at all costs. Now, memory worms, they are long worm-like creatures, and they don't have any eyes or anything. They're like a leech, and basically they latch onto their victims and drain their memories, which basically ends them too. But basically, memory worms have sharp teeth that can protrude through you, and yeah, the image caption is a memory worm breaking down a door. Like most entities, it doesn't give off any special effects or anything. It just tries to destroy you. Although it is slower than most other entities, so it gives you an advantage to escape. Guys, I'm sorry, this one doesn't have an image, but these entities appear as small humanoids that have brown colored skin and appear to be knit or made of yarn. They have yellow hair and they have 2 button eyes on the front of their heads, and they have a smile that looks like it's been stitched up to their face, and their arms are thrown up in the air like they're happy. And basically, these entities are hostile but stationary, which means they don't move, they stay in one place. But they hide behind walls in another area of level 5. So basically, if you see any of these little humanoids hiding behind a corner, do not approach them. If you do, you will be respawned back at where you start on level 5. Subject 21 are the Insanities, and basically they do have some lore. They are the past versions of humans who have gone insane in the back rooms. So keep in mind, there's an unlimited number. We might add a plague mode, so if you get infected by them, you become a wretch or insanity. And basically, they are tall humanoids with a visible rib cage sticking out, as you can see. They are red and flesh colored. And once again, one of their eyes glows in the dark. So, in level 6, they're very hard to see. Now, if you're attacked by one of these entities, they will emit a loud jump scare sound, and you will ultimately, in the end, you will lose your life. Next entity. These entities, only their eyes are visible, and they are bioluminescent. They have a bioluminescent white glow to them, and they appear as happy eyebrows. Not much of the entity's appearance can be seen, as usually they hide in the walls or somewhere dark. These entities, if you get closer and approach with a flashlight, the rest of their body is submerged in the wall, and there's a giant hand that will reach out and try to grab you. So crouch under their hands to avoid them and safely escape them. But I warn you, these entities do come in clusters, and there are about 3 or 4 of them scattered around the level. So be safe. Next entity. Oh, there's no image for this one because its AI is broken and it floats out the map, so it's really hard to see. But its biology and appearance, basically, it's a green eel fish hybrid like creature with a giant sharp spiky spine that kind of sticks up from its back and stuff. It's very large and colossal. It has 2 pitch black eyes and a row of sharp teeth. And yeah, basically it has 2 giant fins on the side, and it basically swims through the water blindly. But its AI is being rewritten, so we're sorry about that. But anyways, we'll keep you updated if there's any more updates on it. Denizens are humanoid creatures that look like skeletons. They crawl on all fours and they actually walk on the ceiling. As you can see. As you probably remember from earlier, level 8, there was a note that was captioned, "It's on the ceiling," and that's what's on the ceiling, this entity right here. And it's horrifying, because this entity, is very hard to see to escape. And, yeah, basically, this entity can only appear on 2 levels. One is level 8, and the other is an upcoming level, okay, level 1.5, which we're going to be adding soon, plus the new entity. Anyways, let's move on to our next subject. Now, I don't have an exact picture for this entity for 2 reasons. One, because, the guy who did the gameplay vid, wasn't in the beta phase of the game, so, sadly, he didn't encounter a smiler. But you can probably get a basic depiction, we're making a new model for him, so you can know that. But the old model basically is like a pitch black floating head with like some tentacles and then a creepy smile with like some humanoid eyes. But we're giving him a revamp. And this is actually one of the first entities in the beta phase of our game to actually have an animation, thanks to Bob the Builder, who helped with like the AI. Anyways, this entity does the same, except its head is so big that in level 9, when you hide in one of the houses, it can't get in, but you are stuck. Now, the Hickory is a very dangerous entity that resides on level 10 only. And yeah, basically its appearance is simple. It's just a glowing orb or ball of yellow light. And basically, as Weeping Angel AI, like I said when I was explaining level 10, these guys don't really do much either, except yeah, you gotta constantly look at them. Other than that, yeah, they're kind of there is a bug that we need to fix with them. And that bug, you're wondering, is actually they like if you look away again and again when you're in the respawn hut, you will rapidly get destroyed. Anyways, yeah, this is the second to last subject of entities topic. Let's move on to the final. Hello. The partygoers are entities that reside only on level 1, and they are humanoids with yellow skin. They appear bag-like, and they don't have legs. The rest of their body kind of drags, but they still kind of can stand straight up. Anyways, they also carry a balloon. But they're getting a remodel once again. They don't have a picture because no one has taken any, sadly. They have a bloody smile on their face. And yeah, basically they're passive, and they totally don't harm you or anything. And what their true appearance looks like is by the way, I have no photos for any of the endings. At least not that I could take. But the first ending so far in the current version of the game is the fun ending, which happens when you escape from level fun. You will teleport to a room with black walls everywhere, but in front of you, something's gonna stand out, and that's a yellow room with a party goer in it. This ending basically describes to you that it says you have been gifted by the partygoers some gifts. And yeah, and it says that basically they're just standing there, and then it says you got the fun ending, and then it says that they made you into a flesh. Basically, the infection ending is where basically you spawn in a room and there's a bunch of pitch black vines or growths growing everywhere, and the bacteria entity, which is non-canon, not in the game. You probably know from the Kane Pixels, or if you've been a fan of the Kane Pixels backrooms. Uh, yeah. Now, uh, basically, the infection ending is where, you just got stuck in the back rooms. You could never escape, and it's like a typical death. It says where you, just kinda, you just went insane and lost your life. Instead, became an entity. It was next. Now, the offering ending is one of the more unique and mysterious endings out there in the game. Like I said earlier, previously, this ending can be entered through level 10. In one of the houses, you'll have a rare chance depending on which house you go. I bet you'll never get it. Only one person's got it so far. It was like a friend, because I kind of showed them. Um, but basically, this ending is just a yellow room, and there's like a pitch black hand that reaches down from the ceiling, and it says the offering ending. And it says this mysterious entity is offered you to come with them to an eternal heaven. Is it heaven? Now, lighters are a cut entity from the game that you can find in the archives area from our game, and basically, um, lighters are just orbs of yellow light, like similar to the hickory, but they're not. They have like yellow light particles around them, and according to the lore, or the wiki, they would burn you if you got too close. But for some reason, in my version, I thought they were like helpful, and they would like try to guide you, kind of like guiding light. Anyways, next subject. Aiden is a entity that appears to be have a brick body build. It had a gray square main body, and then its arms were skinny and stick-like, and his head was a camera with a green bioluminescent eye on it. But according to the wiki, he was gonna be passive in the game and actually help wanderers, but in the end, he was cut for having a bad model, and he just never made it into the game. And yeah, that's Aiden. Anyways, yeah, time for the next scrap or cut thing. Well, this is the new logo. Backrooms, the unseen dust. And the old logo, I don't have a photo for, but it was basically kind of like the same glowing text, same color, except the words were a bit chunkier and it was kind of more crushed together and small. And it was less fancy than this, but I'm glad we ended up with this because this looks actually pretty good. So, yeah. And next subject. So we have two removed entities here. The first is a stalker, which was like a gray humanoid, with two red eyes and a beak or nose or something. That looks like a bird beak, and basically use that to snap players. It originally was gonna live on level 5, but was cut in the end and replaced with the memory worm. And then there's the party host, which are giant meat cakes, or supposedly what party ghosts turn players into after being captured, are gelatinous blobs of frosting and human parts. Basically, these entities, you'd have to avoid them in the beta version of Level Fun, because it was different. So the alpha version of Level Fun was unique. Like I just said, it had, originally it was gonna have party goers and party hosts. And, yeah. And originally, the map was gonna be a lot more complex and larger than the one we have today. And we actually might bring back the alpha map or something like it, because it just felt better. And basically, let me explain how the puzzle would be. Originally, your objective was to find a key, and you know those old McDonald's like play places with the tubes? You'd have to crawl through all those places while avoiding party hosts in there. And we might have added some way to destroy the party hosts. And yeah, basically you'd have to crawl up there and get the key to escape. Party guards were still gonna have the same AI. And yeah, after that though, you would just have to crawl all the way back to the door. And yeah, after that you would unlock a room with the party host boss, which is like gonna be a boss, as you know, and you'd have to use fireworks like in escape the back rooms to defeat them, and then you could escape to the next level. Anyways, that's all. Now, Mother was a pitch black humanoid creature that looked like a female with like a curly hairstyle and no other features. Basically, shadowy. She lived on level 1.5, and she will be added back to the game since we're adding level 1.5. She'll just get a remodel. And yeah, basically it says, according to the wiki, she can actually control the entire level. So yeah, it's pretty unique. And then we have another entity here, which is the deleted Smiler variant, which is pretty similar to the one you know today, which just a floating head. Maybe is a bit larger and better looking. I don't know. And yeah, it's really all. There wasn't much anything different. But yeah, BB. That was the next. I think, and then we have a few more cut content. And then we have the birds, which are like these blue V-shaped entities that looked like blue V's, and they were just drawings. They weren't even birds. They would originally live on level 10, but were scrapped and later replaced with the hickory. And the reason they were scrapped is because they had a bad model. And you can search up the image. It's entity 108 on the wiki. Actually, no, just on Google, because it got removed from the wiki. And then there's the bacteria from the King Pixels lore. I think pretty much all of you know how it looks. And here I'll show a picture. Yeah, that's how he looks. But basically in the game he looked like that, but he was scrapped because he was a non-canon entity. And, you know, we're trying to use wiki stuff. Bye. So the Seeker was the entity that originally was gonna live on level 11 of the Backrooms game. But basically he was removed for the same reason of bacteria because, you know, he's not lore accurate, and yeah. So we just cut him from the game entirely. And yeah, basically he was this gray skeletal humanoid. He had a mouth with eyes in it, and then he had like 3 legs. Next subject. So you all know the entities. Like the Hound originally was gonna have AI that basically it was blind and would wander around randomly, but if you touched him, you would lose your life and respawn. So yeah, and then there's the let's see. I think Wretch was gonna have there's gonna be like an infection mode where if you touch him, he would get cloned, so there'd be two Wretches, and like because your old body will be infected. But those are the only two types of AI that have been scrapped. And yeah, that's the rest for this topic. So the upcoming levels currently are level 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, plus two bonus levels, which are level 1 for your life and level 974. Now that's really all we have in mind right now. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, those are coming in the next update, so stay tuned for that, cause they're like coming soon. Yeah, and then we're that's really it. So the current upcoming entities are Jerry, Reviux, the Boiled, Mr. Kitty, Maui, and um I'm not sure. that's really all the upcoming entities. But and facelings, adult facelings. Yeah. Anyways, that's all for this update, and yeah, those are most of the upcoming stuff. And then we just talk about the final upcoming thing, right? Infection mode is just basically it adds like one or two new entities, and yeah, basically that's really and that's all it really adds, and it also makes the game a bit harder as the entities are faster and the puzzles are a bit harder because you don't get any hints in infection mode. Found footage mode is just supposed to be a 10 pixels accurate mode. It's gonna be very short. There'll only be a few options like pitfalls or like anything else. But basically, just and there's like three entities there, like howler slash bacteria, arena membry from Frag 2's found footage, um, and yeah, those are basically just game pixels and found footage, accurate edition. So mostly there's only gonna be level 0 and level 9, I think, and found footage. But that's really all. Anyways, yeah. Giggle, giggle, giggle. Okay, time for our next subject. Don't gotta be serious. There are currently only two upcoming events, and those are the Halloween event, which is obviously October, and then the let's see, what was the other one? And the other event is the Chapter 2 release event. but there will be more in the future, because this video is gonna be outdated really soon, so I'll have to make another. The hints area is literally just gonna tell you like how to escape level 0 to 10 plus level 5 and so on, and just what the different entity classes mean. Yeah, that's what that means. Yeah, but actually, that's what that means. So. Right now, we're working on a clubhouse for our club where we'll be like attending events, games, and leaks and lore. Yeah, but basically, you'll just be there for the grand chapter 2 release, and yeah, basically we'll answer Q&As and more. And yeah, just make sure to follow our rules. So there you go. That was the whole entire Backrooms, the Unseen Dusk, Iceburg, and lore explained. Almost took an hour. I know that was a long one, but yeah, thank you all for watching. I will make a like another version of this video in the future, because eventually this video is gonna be outdated and have like outdated information. And since we're gonna update it someday, we will be doing another Iceberg. Well, that's all. Anyways, make sure to like and subscribe. You can find this game on Rec Room. And yeah, goodbye.